global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. This is breaking and this is definitely very interesting. I'm interested to know that Supreme Court finally will be sitting on the issue of the emergency rule. And what the verdict is, we do not know, but we're going to give you all the full details in a moment. But before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. I guess it's getting really exciting down here. Now, the Supreme Court just a few minutes ago reserved judgment in a suit changing the declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu. Now, a 7-man panel of Supreme Court judges led by Justice Inyang Okoro took the decision after parties in the suit made their final presentations. The date of the ruling on the matter will be communicated to the parties involved by the Apex Court. Now, it was understood that the plaintiffs in the matter are the Attorney Generals of 10 states. 10 states, while the defendants are the federal government and the National Assembly. Now, during Tuesday's proceedings, the 5th plaintiff, which is Delta State, decided to withdraw from the suit. This decision was not contested by the counsel representing the federal government, which is Lateef Fagbemi, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN. Fagbemi argued that the declaration by the President Tinubu followed constitutional provisions and was done to curb the political crisis which had engulfed Rivers State. He added that the state governor, similarly Fubara, his deputy Ngozi Odo, and members of the State House of Assembly were not removed but suspended as part of extraordinary measures required to bring decorum in the state. He therefore urged the Apex Court to dismiss the suit in its entirety. In his submission, the legal representative for the plaintiffs, which is Eyetayo Jegede, is a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, emphasized that their case does not dispute the president's authority to declare a state of emergency. He told the court that instead, the suit questions the scope of this declaration, particularly concerning its impact on the position of the governor, the deputy governor, and the State House of Assembly. It would be recalled that President Tinubu had in March 2025 declared a state of emergency in Rivers State following the political crisis which enveloped the state as a result of the disagreement between Governor Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, and his predecessor in office, Nyesom Wike, which is now the FCT minister, the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Abuja. The declaration expired in September, leading to the restoration of full democratic process in the oil-rich state. My colleague is in the house. A lot of things to be discussed in here. A lot of things they actually brought up as preliminaries to the case. But we're looking at the nitty-gritty of this case. Now, I would say this is almost academic because the whole thing has been restored. But I think for the sake of posterity, for the sake of history, for the sake of continuance of democracy, so that the next person who would take the role or hands of affairs as the sitting president will not cite a case study of Rivers State versus Tinubu, the president of Nigeria. My colleague is in the house. What's your take on the fact that finally, one, the Supreme Court is about to sit on this matter, and secondly, the fact that some of the governors have started withdrawing already. Of course, you would understand why Delta State governor is withdrawing. He's now an APC person. And the fact that Fagbemi is actually defending this matter. What's your take?
Well, I think this case is long overdue. We were expecting that this will happen before the end of the emergency rule in Rivers State. But interestingly, everything, for some reasons best known to them, which Nigerians are holding it back for the now, waiting for the verdict to come out. Interestingly, from my own perspective, I think that the withdrawal of some of the state government is understandable. For example, Enugu State Governor, I think his Attorney General should also withdraw because they are part of that one big bad family. Diri has not told Nigerians, you know,
particular.
where he's moving to his state is partyless right now, you know. So I think his Attorney General can still hold sway for now. But be that as it may, looking at the case, I can't make any decision because already it's before, you know, I cannot say anything about it because it's before the Supreme Court. But just a little reminder here and there that the judiciary has a duty of upholding the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There have been some very unapologetic statements made by some individuals over their loss of hope when it comes to democracy. They believe democracy is not serving the purpose of justice as it should be. And I feel that every opportunity granted, especially for cases like this that have got a level of concentration to attention, the Constitution, the national conversation has not ended over it. Yes, we should be handled like this guy said some few hours ago, Rufai Hosseini said that unfortunately, because of the lavish gift given out to this judiciary, I mean, few days ago we heard Wike saying that before the end of this tenure of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he will ensure that not even one judge will live in a rented apartment. Each of them will have a plot, a house built for them in FCT. I mean, this is a way of infringing on the conscience of these guys. And there's no way issues concerning such a person will be treated with the level of fairness and equity required. There will be considerations, you know. A lot of things will be done. So, but then judiciary should understand. That's why we are praying and looking for an opportunity where that constitution will go through another form of amendment or maybe totally abolished, so that we can set up something whereby the independency of each of these arms of government can be seeable, such that they cannot be influenced by executive. Because right now it seems as though everything about them, they're running around any government that comes on, especially depending on the corrupt mindedness of such this thing. You understand? So right now, the situation we are facing, right, Nigeria wants to hear their position. Though a lot of people already have their own standpoint and it has to do with the case, but we just want to hear their details, so that at the end of the day we can now hold them. Tomorrow, if it happens, they won't have anything to say. I pray that they will do the right thing, because this case right now will go an extra mile in restoring hope once again on the judiciary.
I pray so as well, because most Nigerians want to know, should we still be hoping, or should we still believe in our judiciary, or do we just say, well, all hope is lost? Well, the last hope of the common man has always been the judiciary, and if they lose their stand, then what then is the hope of the common man? Like they always say that justice is blind. The reason why it's being blindfolded so that it can give equity and just judgment. But if the blindfold have been removed and it can now see the rich from the poor, my goodness. Let's go wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your